All right, so welcome to class. And let's come and sit tall for our opening meditation, as we always do. Sitting in a way that's most comfortable for you. Fun thing about home is that you maybe have other options for yourself. You don't have to sit in cross-legged position. You can sit in a chair if that's better. And let's close the eyes. And we'll make our way from our outer to inner to breath. So tapping into the outer environment, connecting to sense of sound. And then shifting that awareness to sense of touch, sensation on the skin. And then shifting awareness to sense of smell. So for, again, those who are their first practice remotely, it can be a challenge to be practicing in your home. And it's just par for the course. It just comes along with a package, and it will change and shift. You will settle in. The mind will start to release its little distractions as you just stay on course, tapping into sense of smell. And then bringing awareness to the inner environment and body scan. So we'll come down to the feet and the legs and observe and feel. You begin to infuse the environment that you are in, whether it's living room, bedroom, porch, wherever. It takes a little bit of time to build up the energy of that space. It's a new habit that you are creating. So just stick with it. And as we always say, just come back to the breath. That mind starts to pull you away. Come back to the breath, come back to the body scan, making your way through. Traveling up the spine to upper back and shoulders. And bringing awareness into the neck and the face. And settling into breath. resisting temptations for the mind to pull you away. Reminding yourself that your practice is a gift to yourself and a gift to everyone else around you. Everyone else benefits from your practice. And setting your intention for practice this afternoon, as we always do. Noticing what floats to the top, if anything. And if it doesn't float to the top, nothing's floating, then bring awareness to how you've been feeling as you move through your body scan. What insight, what awareness can you kind of create an intention, an area to bring more awareness to, or have more awareness of. Maybe you're settling into this whole thing easier than you thought, and appreciating that and having that intention to continue that energy through your practice. Taking in our intention for practice, we say that the practice is a special and a sacred time that I have created to be with myself. It is a time to journey inward and to discover all of who I am and all of who I'm capable of being. This journey begins with this body. I come to honor and respect myself through this body. I come to nurture and nourish, to strengthen and purify through the practices of the postures and the breathing and the meditation. I am not here to beat myself up or force my body into pain, and I am not here to compare or criticize myself or anyone else. I am just here to learn the ways of nature through this body by listening to it and observing it, and by honoring it and trusting it. And I intend to use what I learned to serve myself and to serve others. And let's begin by sharing our Om together, taking the full breath in. And opening eyes, taking our bow. In our welcome. Thank you all for coming out this afternoon for class. Let's come down to our mats for our warm-up sequence. So making your way onto your mat and onto the back. As we always do, taking our time, easing ourselves down. Allowing for the pause, allowing for the body to settle and release. Easing your legs down and out. If you have that low back tension, squeeze those belly muscles in a few times on a few exhales to release the tension. Any lingering holding there. And again, just take that pause, appreciating this time you've taken this afternoon to do class with us. And let's take our full body stretch, arms overhead, and inhale to lengthen. And exhale to relax and let go. And a second stretch, reaching out through, lengthening up. And we'll let go and release. And let's come into our cradle. We'll bring the right knee up and in, cradling our knee from side to side. Thinking of our whole leg as a little helpless baby that really needs support. And the hands and arms are what's supporting that leg and that hip as it eases out from one side to the other. And we'll take the leg back to the center and take the leg up, supporting from behind, and toes and ankle. So it's kind of fun actually while I'm here in this room without anybody here. I'm imagining Addie being in her spot, Lauren being in the back. And I could easily place Kitty and Deb into their space. And you know, even though they haven't been in the studio, you've got a spot in the studio now. And let's relax the foot and inner thigh and outer thigh stretch, easing your leg out to the side. Inhaling it up to center and exhaling it over. Inhale it up. Exhale. And continuing, explore. This is that nice, relaxed way. If there's nothing else other to do than to do inner thigh and outer thigh stretch. Taking that leg back up to the center, and let's bend the knee and into reclined tree. Full deep breaths, getting back into breathing into the area of greatest sensation. And Jane, yeah, Jane, you're here too. I think you're here, Jane. You're in your spot. So I have energetically placed everybody in the class. And good deep breaths, relaxing and releasing. And the right knee comes up, and let's slide the leg down and out, let it go. Left knee up and in, and we'll cradle. Nice, good deep breaths, settling in, relaxing through the body. Tapping into the sense of relaxation that you would begin to feel at this point in the class. The leg comes back to the center. We'll take this leg up for toes and ankle. And relaxing the foot and inner thigh and outer thigh stretch. Leg comes up to the center, we'll bend the knee and take it into reclined tree to release and let go. Relaxing through the right leg as well as the left. And full deep breaths. Then we'll bring that knee back up to center and we'll ease the leg down and out. Let it go. Let's take both our knees up for our knee circles, hands on the kneecaps. Arms are straight and into our knee circles. And you can have your head looking, your gaze looking up to the ceiling is best for your neck. As you explore, you can close your eyes, of course, and feel the sensations of the knee circles. And go in the opposite direction. And knees come back to the center. We'll take it into our knee down twist to the right. So we'll guide ourselves over, adjusting your hips if you need to, bringing those knees over to the right, settling in. And we know that, okay, there's some of you that I've talked to, and you know that this is, twisting is, you don't want to over twist. Some of us, it feels okay, and we can really go deep into our twist. Others, just be more is less. Okay, so we'll take that left arm overhead, and first we'll just do the side body stretch. So as you inhale, just stretch and lengthen, and releasing. And so we know this is helping us to get into the side body, into that armpit chest area, and to feel the connection of the arm to the navel. I was teaching doing a private session today, actually, and as we were doing this, you know, and just guiding the person to feel as if their arm is starting in the belly, and they just got it immediately. They're, oh yeah, that makes sense to feel that stretch from that place. So, and we know, and this is one of these things we do all the time, but sometimes we can forget and lose sight of the reason, the underlying reasoning as to why we're doing this and why we take time in the warm-ups to do these things. And arms come out shoulder height, head turns away, and let's relax and let go through the ankles, the knees, up through the spine. Good deep breaths. And we'll slowly bring the knees back up to the center, hips back to the center for our pause. And we'll take it over to the other side. And the side body stretch up through right side. Arms come out shoulder height, head turns away. Let's relax and settle. So your head's turning to the right and relaxing through the ankles, knees, and hips. Relaxing up to the torso, out to the arms, up through the neck and face. Noticing that the mind is staying with the breath and the body. And if it feels okay, most of us bring the abdomen in at the end of the exhales to deepening the twist, which is really just, we're getting that nice abdominal massage. We're not really forcing the twist anymore. But still, just letting gravity do the work and just holding gently in the twist is always an option for any of us. I started to do some gardening earlier this week, and I could feel my low back and my neck and shoulders. I felt it. So sometimes we all want to do things a little softer. And let's slowly bring the knees back up to center, hips back to center. And pause. Left arm overhead, and we're going to roll ourselves all the way over, slowly make our way up to come into our tabletop. Onto the hands and knees. Knees are below our hips, wrists are below the shoulders, relaxing the neck, the shoulder blades, and the belly, letting all that go. And then begin to make your way into cat stretch. And come back to neutral spine. Curl the toes under. Take it up for our warm-up down dog. Draw into the belly, lift it up and back and into your walking in place. Exploring areas of stretch for yourself. Last week we were doing some three-legged dogs. If you want to add three-legged dogs into your warm-up, just taking a leg up for a stretch. And back down, and then the other leg up. Little steps up with the feet towards the hands. Drop the weight into the feet and heart root, draw into the belly, root it down, and we roll it up. And release and relax. Great. Next, when you're feeling good, a little more open. So we'll prepare for our warm-up sun salutation. Feet hips width apart. And coming tall. Engage your heart root, upper belly, low belly. Feeling the pelvic floor lift, leg muscles hug and feet root. Lengthening through the spine and the heart and the crown. And let's inhale to take it up. Press and lengthen. And exhaling, arms out and over. And inhale, rise up, press and lift. And exhale out. And inhale to rise. And exhaling, hands to the heart to breathe and feel. Release, relax it down. All right. So this is a no sun salutation class. There'll be a little bit of stuff with the hands, but not much. A lot lighter than what we normally do in a sun salutation class. But still, I think a nice flow, nice interesting flow. And we're going to start out with our modified sun salutation. So this variation that we're all familiar with of the legs being and hips width apart. And taking that left arm, I'm not gonna mirror you today, I think. So you're gonna take your left arm and bring it to the outside of your left thigh. And it's going to become a prop. You really want to feel it kind of pressed, like you Velcroed it to the side, to your side body and to your outer hip. Okay. So as we root in and down and lift, we're going to inhale that right arm up. We'll press down and lengthen, and we'll exhale up and over. Inhale, we'll come back up, keeping it nice and open, grounded through both legs, and exhale the arm out and down. Other side, we'll inhale and reach out. Now as we press and lift, rooting through left foot, and exhale up and over. And inhale it back up. And exhale out and down. Into our easy back bend where the hands come behind the back. Place the hands in the low back. And again, as we ground and root down into those legs, the whole pelvis moving forward. Right? That tailbone moving forward. And as we get that grounding and rooting and moving forward, we lift everything. Lift those ribs up and heart lifting, shoulder blades roll in, lengthening through the neck. If it feels okay, let the head come up and back like you've got a roll towel. A nice big thick fluffy towel that helps you to create space. If it feels like shoulders are crunching, your head is just kind of dropping back, like you don't have any support there at all, don't bring your head back so far. And breathe it in, and we'll exhale to come up. Hands to the front, slight little bend in the knees, keep it strong with that heart root. As you inhale and exhale, we'll take it over into our release. As long as you're using, again, that heart root, or if you've got some back issues, some low back stuff that you want to be careful of, then you can keep your hands on your thighs and you can come down kind of part way. It's going to be better for you to keep neutral spine. So for those, if it feels good to roll over and you can roll down comfortably and roll back up, that's fine. But if you are paying a little extra care to your back, then you want to just keep it long and neutral. And then let's go ahead from here and we'll bring it up. You're either going to roll it up, or if you're keeping it neutral, you keep it long as you come up. Great. Okay, let's go again. And inhale, reach and rise. Press and lengthen. Exhale up and over. And inhale back up. And exhale out and down. And inhale, other side. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale out. Inhale, hands behind to root and lengthen. Hips forward, roll the shoulders, lift the heart, lengthen the neck. Exhale while you're in it. Inhale while you're in it. And exhale to slowly come up and release. Slight little bend in the knees, draw in, root down and lengthen and exhale. Either lengthen and roll out and over, or lengthen and just hinge out. Either way. And then coming up the same way you came down. If you rolled it down, roll it up. You came out with neutral spine, come up with neutral spine. And then hands to the heart. All right, and we'll open the eyes and release and relax. So we're going to come to the front edge of our mats, and let's see, I'll face this way. And I'm going to do a nice, kind of an interesting sequence that I came across and thought we might like to do today. It's just a little bit different. Again, it's kind of hands off. We do use fingertips a little bit, which can be strengthening to the wrist. Not so much weight bearing though, a teeny bit. And everything is very modifiable. So depending on what your body's going to let you do, there's lots of some key ways to change it up. So we're going to come to the front edge of our mats into our mountain pose. Coming tall, dropping the weight into the heels and the balls of the feet nice and evenly. And let's inhale, reach those arms out and up. And exhale, arms out. Knee bend or no knee bend, hinging over and down. Take a breath in, and we'll exhale that right foot back, extending back into runner stretch, and then bring the right knee down to the floor. We're going to come into a lunge by bringing our hands up to our left knee and lifting those hips to square. You can keep the toes curled under on the back or the top of the foot down. And then the variations here, you can stay right here with hands on your knees. We're all rooting in and down into our right leg and into our left foot. We're lengthening through the spine. Hands can stay here, or you can take those arms up shoulder width. Or you can keep the arms shoulder width and you can arch and lengthen back a little bit. Any of those variations are good today. Keep rooting and lengthening. Can you feel it rooting down into the toes? Can our toes, those back toes, spreading and pressing into the floor, drawing into the belly? Let's take a breath in and exhale. We're going to keep it strong on the inside as we bring those fingertips back to the floor. We are going to do a runner's twist here. And again, there's modifications if you need to. We're going to curl the toes under, pick that back knee up. The right hand is going to stay on the floor. You can stay on your fingertips or flat palm. The idea is to not put as much weight on your hand. Okay, so you put all the weight into the legs or more of the weight into the legs. And then you can just stay here and runner stretch. You can take your left hand and place it on your left knee and work there. Or you can root into the belly and take the twist with the shoulders down and the heart lifting. And you can take that left arm up in the air. Steady breath in and out. And breathe it in. And we'll exhale the left hand down. We'll straighten the left knee, and we're going to turn to lengthwise on our mats. Toes are pointing straight ahead on the long side of your mat. And last week we did some stretching, some hip opening stretch from here, where we had our hands in our hip crease, and we would slowly move one knee down and then straighten, and then the other knee. So this is a very gentle version. You can stay with this version of just breathing in and exhaling from one side to the other. If you want it to go a little bit deeper, you can take your hands to the floor. You can bend that left knee, and you can turn, lift your toes and straighten your right leg. And then take it up and over to the other side. With breath, you can inhale while you're stationary and exhale as you transition. Inhale while you're stationary and exhale as you transition, and doing whichever variation works for you. And we'll inhale back to the center. And we're going to bring our heels in and our toes out. Knees are bent. And we're going to bring our hands up to the thighs. So hands, you can turn your fingers in to the insides of the thighs. You can have them turn out, whichever way you want. We're going to, and you can kind of have them maybe middle or closer to the hip crease is what I like to do. And as you root into the belly and lengthen through the spine, you're going to take your right shoulder and you're going to bring your right shoulder over towards your left knee. And you'll feel some stretch on that right side. And we inhale slowly to come up and exhale over to the other side. Left shoulder to right knee. Inhale it up. So nice and strong through those legs and spine. And exhale. And inhale to center. And exhale, left knee to right shoulder. Whoops. Left shoulder to right knee. And inhale, coming back to the center. All right, stay nice and grounded and rooted. Let's take those arms and bring them up shoulder width apart. Draw into the belly, try lengthening. And then slowly straighten legs and reach up. And exhale those arms out and down. To slowly bring them down. Observe and feel. From here, we're going to take this into a warrior two. And we're going to go out through our left foot. So our right foot is going to turn in about 45 degrees. Left foot turns out to the short end of the mat. Left knee bends over our ankle. Torso is turning, twisting to the right. And let's see, we're going to do some dynamic movement here. So as we draw that muscle energy in, zip it up, engage through those legs, feet pressing down and away. Be paying attention to your feet, lifting the toes if it feels okay to broaden and create more coverage, more area coverage on the floor. Lifting and lengthening, finding that all the way up through your crown. And let's let those arms float up. We'll take our gaze as we normally would here by looking out over your left fingertips. The movement is going to be to straighten your left knee, to take your arms shoulder width apart, and to turn your head to center. So we'll inhale while we're here. And we'll exhale to straighten the knee, lift the arms, turn the head. And then we'll exhale back to warrior two. And inhale, bring it up. Root and lengthen. And exhale, hinge. And inhale, rise. And exhale, hinge. And breathe it in. And exhale, we're going to windmill our right arm up and over. Bring ourselves back down into runner stretch. Breathe it in while we're here. And exhale, step it up. Feet hips width apart. Now let's keep the knees bent and let's inhale to rise up, keeping neutral spine, press and lengthen. And exhale, arms come out shoulder height. We're going to come into Yoga Mudra. So Yoga Mudra, we interlace the fingertips behind us. We root down through those legs. Draw the shoulders back. Bend the knees. And inhale, root and lengthen. And this is a neutral back. So again, we're hinging at the femur hips. So we're keeping that spine nice and naturally long, coming out and over. Look, all the work is really in the legs here. And in the upper back, we're trying to open the upper back. So as you root down, maybe teeny bits of straightening the legs a little bit if that feels okay. But you're lengthening as you come out and over. And again, paying attention to that low back. You don't have to come down so far. You can work with neutral, keeping that pelvis and spine neutral with legs engaged. And you can still work with your Yoga Mudra without exacerbating or aggravating that low back sacrum area. If that's not happening for you, then you really are trying to take the torso over the thighs. And let's inhale, release the hands and come back up. Press down through those feet, lift up to the sky. And exhale, hands to the heart. And inhale, press and lift and lengthen. And exhale, folding over. Inhale while you're here. And exhale, stepping back with the left foot. Left knee to the floor. Let's come up for our crescent here. Drawing into the belly, lifting and lengthening. Arms come up if that feels okay. Maybe taking a little opening, arching the back just a little bit, lifting the heart up if that's okay. And breathe it in. And exhale, hands come down, fingertips to the floor. Our runner stretch twist, picking the back knee up, left fingertips or palm on the floor. Keep rooting down. So you're really kind of pulling in here to the pelvis and rooting down into the back leg and firming up and rooting down into the left leg, into the right leg, sorry. And then you either keep stable with your spine, keep it long. If it feels okay to keep it long and take it into a twist, you do that. And if it feels okay to take the arm up, you do that. Steady breath in and out. And breathe it in. And exhale, the hand comes down. Straighten the right knee, walk it back to the center. We're going to take those same hip opening lunges, but we're going to hold it. So whatever you did the last time, if you were up here, had the hands here, and you can come over, you're just going to bend that left knee, you're going to root and lengthen down, and you'll hold here. And if it feels okay to come lower, you're coming down to that lower place, you can come lower, rooting and lengthening. And then we'll inhale it up to the center, and we'll exhale it over to the other side. Inhale, and exhale up and over, rooting and lengthening. And breathe it in. And exhale up one more time onto the side. Drawing in muscular energy, again, drawing into that pelvis, into the midline. Our long leg, whatever variation, foot is on the floor or the foot is off the floor. Okay, we're drawing that kneecap up, making it nice, firm leg. Breathe it in. And then back to the center. And again, we'll bring those heels in, toes out, knees are bent, and come up for our goddess pose. So we're drawing into the belly, nice strong action here, pelvic floor, leg muscles are active. Right, we want to feel the backs of the knees are being drawn to the wall behind us. Spine is long. And let's bring those arms out, turn the palms up. And bend the elbows into our cactus arms. Feeling the backs of the palms being drawn to the wall behind you. And we'll do some dynamic movement here. So here we'll straighten the legs and we'll straighten the arms up overhead. So inhale, straighten the legs, reach and lengthen. Engage those legs and then exhale, ease it back down into the seat. Maybe you go a little bit lower, maybe not. And inhale, press and lengthen. And exhale, bring it back down. And inhale, and reach and rise. And exhale, coming down. And again, pausing. Those knees being drawn back, elbows and backs of hands being drawn back. Power in the legs, power in the pelvis, power in your core. And inhale, press and reach. And exhale, hands to the heart. Breathe and feel. Warrior two to the right. So we'll take our left foot, turn it in 45. Take the right foot, pivot it out. Toes pointing to the short end of your mat. Right knee bent. Making those little adjustments so you feel settled into your pose. Making the adjustments of the torso. And then draw it in, upper belly, low belly. Again, zipping, rounding down through those legs, all the way into the feet. Lengthening through the spine. Take those arms up. We'll look out over the right fingertips. And we'll do the same dynamic movement. So we'll inhale to straighten and lengthen. And exhale, we'll ease back into it. Let it be nice, slow motion. Like you're going through, I don't know, warm honey. And inhale, come back up, slowly coming back up. And then exhale, turn those palms back over, back into warrior two. Then once more, inhale to press and lengthen. And exhale out. And breathe it in. And as we exhale, windmilling that left arm up and over, coming down to the floor into our runner stretch. Just draw into the belly, get that little nice stretch. And exhale, we'll step up with the left foot. Rooting down into those legs, lengthening the spine, press down and lift and rise up. And exhaling, hands to the heart. Breathe and be. And release, relax and shake it out. Let's come down to the floor for our twist. So make your way down. And sitting in the way that's best for you, whichever variation, right leg out in front or right leg up and over, legs crossed. I showed the variation of sitting on the block with keeping the hips square. All of that is open. And left hand is on that right knee or around it with your right hand behind you. Let me take that pause and release and relax. And just remembering that twisting is not, you know, in the game today, it's not about twisting deeply, then just keep working on strengthening those muscles that support the bones. So let's draw into upper belly, root down into the sits bones, into the feet, and begin to lengthen and lift up through the crown. And as you exhale, we're scooping the belly over to the right with the ribs and the shoulders. That right shoulder blade gets drawn back. The shoulder blade gets pulled in towards the spine. And as you root and lift and lengthen, you slowly take your head into the twist. Otherwise, just doing a little bit less twist, which is oftentimes a good experience for all of us. It's just to come out of it a little bit less and just feel the root and lift. Good deep breaths. And inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale slowly, keep it long as you return to center. Let everything settle. And we'll switch it out. Back foot to the front or left leg comes up and over. So the tendency at home is to, of course, you know, kind of come out of things more quickly, perhaps, and not take that time to pause. So just to help you with that is to watch that for yourself and observe. As you take that right hand to the knee or around the knee with the left hand behind. Start out in that preparatory position. Heart rooting in and down as you lift and lengthen up, and scooping the belly gently over to the left. Finding the Goldilocks, finding the nice spot that is right for you. Okay, remember yoga doesn't mean do a pose, do a really difficult pose. Yoga is that integration. It's that point of integrating the breath, the mind, and the body into that place where your body embraces the pose. You do it to the degree that your body is going to gain the benefit from it. And inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, we'll come back to the center, letting it go. Let's bring the knees up and legs come out, shake it out. And let's come down onto our backs with knees up and feet flat. I want to give us at least 5 minutes for our inversion time. So we're pretty much on our usual time. It might be 5 minutes over today. So we'll shift the hips, settling in, take your pause. And then I'll give you the verbal guidance through. You know what you need to do perhaps today, or you're just tuned into knowing and you've got the parts around you to move from pelvic lifting and spinal lifting into your bridge and half shoulder stand. So I'll guide us through if you need it. Otherwise, take yourself into the variations and the holding that feels right for you. Practicing keeping with the breath. keeping with the heart root. So we start with our pelvic tilts, drawing the belly in, just letting the pelvis tilt back and forth. Sometimes we need just a couple of those. Sometimes we need more. When you feel you're ready, then you can start to do the lifting and spinal lifting. So as you root down and start to engage your feet, pelvis lifts up a little more. You want to pay attention that we're not squeezing through those glutes. Squeezing the glutes to lift you doesn't help you to lift. Heart rooting into upper belly, low belly, engaging through your legs and feet, trying to be relaxed through those glutes. That helps. That gives you a different experience. And as you find your full range of motion in your spine, you're ready for bridge, you can come on up. If you're liking the lifts, stay with the lifts. If not, rock those shoulder blades underneath you a little bit. If you can get your arms straight and interlaced, that's where you go. If the arms don't stay straight or stay connected, bend the elbows, have the fingertips up to the ceiling. That is a really nice alternative. It doesn't diminish the stretch at all. It actually creates more stretch in the chest when you do the bent, the elbow kind of choo-choo arms, right? Robot arms. And as you press down and lift and lengthen, knees are lengthening away from you. The tailbone is going in the same direction as the knees. The heart is lifting and moving in the opposite direction from the knees. And the pubic bone is energetically moving in the opposite direction from the tailbone. Full deep breaths. And we'll walk those arms out and we'll slowly lower down if you haven't done so already. Take a pause. And as you're ready, you can go ahead and make your way into your half shoulder stand or legs up the wall. Supported inversion. Whatever you do, just do it mindfully. As you come into that, just give, and most people do a variation. They do a modification of half shoulder stand. A few of you do the half shoulder stand, and just making sure that oftentimes this is one where when we start learning this, we just kind of think we got to just kind of muscle our way into it and use our strength to do that. And we do need a great deal of strength, but noticing if you're using heart root strength to do this. So the arms are alongside of you if you're going to do the half shoulder stand. The knees are away from you. You take a nice good deep breath in, and it's going to be a very strong engaging of the core, taking the knees in to get the lift of the hips. So as you bring that in and up, you keep the knees in because it's easier to manage. It's easier to work those elbows in, hands, then take the weight of the pelvis. And then you can go ahead and take the legs up. Being in whatever variation for just a couple more breaths, or a few more breaths. All right. And let's slowly bring the knees back in. And lower yourself down, bring the soles of the feet together, palms on the belly. And we'll inhale as arms overhead, just stretch and lengthen. And exhale, letting it go. And take the knees up. And into the chest, draw into the belly, forehead up. And very gently place the head back down to the floor. And feet come back to the floor. And we'll make our way into relaxation. So we'll slide those legs down and out, and I'll let you find your way into your shavasana. So getting what you need for relaxation, getting your music set up or blanket, some basic prop if you need any basic prop, you can have that. Something if you need a little something for your knees, for your low back. If you ever have any questions about props or where to put them, just you can always text me or email me. And settling the body in, right? We're shifting the hips side to side as we usually do. Tucking the shoulder blades in. Making sure that you take time, taking time for relaxation. Eyes are closed and feel that breath and let that breath flow down into the feet and the legs. And as you exhale, let the feet and the legs release and relax, settling in. Feel that breath flow into the pelvis and the pelvic bowl. As you exhale, release, relax, and let go through the pelvis, the muscles and the organs. And taking that breath and filling that up into the spine. And then expand out into the left and right side of your back. And as you exhale, feeling the letting go, feeling the unwinding, the settling of the back to the floor. Feel that next breath flow into the arms, from the shoulders to the elbows, down to wrists and fingers. And as you exhale, release. Let go and relax all the way through those arms. And feel the breath flow into the neck and face. And as you exhale, release and relax through the eyes and the cheeks and the jaw. Allowing this as your time to restore, to re-energize, to reset. Staying with steady breath in and out. Just begin to deepen your breath. Allow for a stretch to come through the body. And once you complete your stretch, bringing the knees back up into the chest, arms around, taking in your hug of appreciation and gratitude. Maybe rocking side to side. And let's roll all the way over to the right side, and we'll slowly make our way up. Coming up for closing meditation. A short meditation. And settling in to your seat. Again, you can sit in whatever way is most comfortable. A chair, or leaning up against the back of a living room chair or couch. Eyes are closed. Just bring your awareness back to the breath. Sitting tall. Taking a moment to set an intention. And I'll share a quote, one of Yogi Desai's in the moment quotes. Your being is a fountain of energy. Whenever you are doing without being the doer and achiever, suddenly that fountain of energy is accessible to you. Your being is a fountain of energy. Whenever you are doing without being the doer and achiever, suddenly that fountain of energy is accessible to you. And let's send off our intention with the bell. And let's close by sharing our own and shantis, 3 shantis. Full breath in. Shanti. 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 And opening eyes, taking our bow. And namaste. Thank you for coming to class. Enjoy the rest of your day, however it unfolds.